He was in dreamland. He was in dreamland when the announcement was given. He is here now. Not quite the smile I expected, Brian.
Mate, have you seen or heard anything more Tottenham in your life that me, with my low energy levels, fall asleep? And of course, this fantastic news comes out. So I have no idea what's been. I know he's official. I know it's done. But I haven't read the statement, heard anything, seen anything. So I have come to the only place that I could to get the news.
Basically, Brian, I'll tell you that he's brought 3 coaches with him.
Okay.
He's brought Justin Cochrane, Chris Haslam, Joe Newton, and Andreas Jorgensen. He's brought as the set piece coach from Manchester United.
Sweet, fantastic, amazing. I did hear Simeon say something about Romero. As Romero said something.
Oh, you're gonna love it. Oh, has Romero said something, Brian?
You're gonna love it.
Has Romero said something? Let me read you out the statement, Brian.
Let's do it. Listen.
You're the exact man I wanted to get the reaction from. So he says, Ange, thank you for these 2 incredible seasons. You're a fantastic coach, but above all, a great person who deserves the best. From day one, you've paved the way despite the many obstacles that always existed and will always exist. Beyond everything, we won a trophy and went down in history of this beautiful club, which is the only thing that matters. I wish you the best because you deserve the best, and thank you for everything.
Well, all I can say is shots launched at the players that they should be launched at. Shots launched at every single fan that have been throwing them at Thomas Frank. Shots launched at the man that needs to come out of this football club, Daniel Philip Levy. Hopefully he'll come out now and say something about his future, although saying something about that like a Levy, I think we don't want the writings on the wall there. But finally, a player will come out and say as it is.
Brian, I was talking about this with Sim just before when you were in La La Land, and and we said
I was asleep for it. I cannot believe I'm so pissed.
People are describing it, Brian, as a 2-footer of a statement.
Say that again, Sim. It's quite
fans are describing it as a 2-footer of a statement from Cuti Romero.
Do you know what? People are saying it right. That is beautiful. That is beautiful.
We were saying, Brian, that if Levy does what Levy does with players exiting and drives a really high bargain and it goes all the way to the end of the window, this could get really ugly, couldn't it?
Oh, it could. I could. And as I said, I'll get something perfectly clear. I am absolutely delighted with this appointment that a lot of people, I think, can read through the lines and understand. Has this changed my feeling towards upstairs and how this football club is run at all and the way I feel about that man? Not one bit. Not one solitary bit. My main aim, or the aim should always be to get that man out. But right now, it is about Thomas Frank. But you're right. If there is a big fallout from players, then a lot of pressure, a lot of heat, a lot of anger, and a lot of action, most importantly from the fans, should be held at the part of Daniel Levy and what he's doing to this football club.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you feel Thomas Frank feels about that statement?
Well, it's not the greatest thing you're going to have as your first part of the job, is it? Well, all I will say is welcome to Tottenham, Thomas. This is what Spurs do. He knew he's going to have his work out. I'm sure this. Do you know what? We were all a bit concerned that Romero hadn't come out, weren't we? Whether it be one way or the other. What is it? A full week now? Not a solitary statement. And then he goes and drops the hammer. How long did that come out after Frank's?
About an hour. He did about an hour. No, about half an hour after Frank announced, or an hour.
Yeah, it's always
so the tweet went out at 9:12.
I think Frank was 8:15.
Okay,
it's about an hour. Oh, Brian, that's deliberate. Obviously, it's deliberate timing.
When does Romero not do anything deliberately? Oh, like social media wise and statement wise, is
a premeditated attack, Brian.
Yeah, do you know what? He probably had it saved in his drafts for ages. Go, do I do it now? No. Well, he's done it now, and yeah, There'll be.
What do you think of the timing? Do you agree with it? You know, taking away kind of the limelight of Frank's appointment is it the right thing to do?
Probably not. Probably not as a football club, and the way the club will see it. Do I feel Thomas Frank deserves it? No. Maybe you've left it at a bit of time. But how to launch a grenade into a crowded room is doing something like this, and this is just a bombshell. It's just there. Like I said, everyone will be talking. I literally thought you were going to tell me when I said read the statement. I thought it was going to be a welcome to Tottenham. I commit my future. That's what I thought you were going to tell me. But oh dear, Romero's come in with a massive statement. The club will probably look at this. Oh, they will do. There's no doubt about it. Very, very, very poorly. But again, just like Conte, calls it out.
Yeah. Brian, is there any way you can turn your volume up?
Up. Thought my volume was up high now. Let me see.
Even you're quiet.
I'm quiet. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. It's rendezvous sometimes when I'm on this. Can you hear me better now?
I can hear you perfectly.
But some people in the chat are saying you're inaudible. That's one.
Is that better, people? Let's have a look. Is that better?
Seems all right to me. Apparently, I'm just looking on Twitter. Darren Lewis. He did a report about Tottenham looking to hijack the Mbeumo deal for United.
He said,
and he's retweeted that article he wrote, and he did the eyes emoji.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's what Darren Lewis has done.
Well, you know how to sweeten the Romero news.
It has gone very. I told you, gone suspiciously quiet with that Mbeumo to United. I'm telling you,
I did say that. You did say that, and I was like, I wasn't having any of it.
I still don't know. Just based off his eyes, that's definitely happening. I'm just saying it has gone suspiciously quiet.
In my eyes now, this guy, the tier 1 source.
Tier 1 source.
Exactly. We're doing away with numbers. Let's do it in metals. Platinum. He's platinum source. No, if he does hijack that, and we do get him, yes, that sweetens the Romero news, but also does that show that he can turn people's heads? We all spoke about, obviously, as Postecoglou being able to twist Tails' arms. If he comes and manages to twist Mbeumo away from Manchester United, that's got to be a show that when the crunch comes, he can lure people to the club.
Is there any reality that we sign Mbeumo and Eze in the same window?
And Romero stays.
Yeah. We signed Gyökeres, and we also signed Nketiah, and we go invincible.
No, because seriously, like, if Romero does go and we get decent money in, and we don't sign another centre back with Dragusin and Dan So here and like that, can we not spend those funds on bringing in, if we've got funds there already for one of them? Can we not use those funds to bring in an Eze as well?
That's you think so? You think we would be able to do it? It's whether would we, isn't it?
Yeah,
always.
If that was to happen, that would be the best window I've ever witnessed.
Completely. Simeon, how are we on converting to Frankish now? Are we fully Frankish?
No, I've thrown the boomerang away, mate. We're all aboard the Frank train.
Danish pastries next to you.
Exactly.
Brian, right at the beginning of the stream, he laid the boomerang to rest. He didn't want to throw it because it would come back and hit him in the face, but he laid it to rest.
It's time. We're all aboard the Frank train, Brian. Do you think, just going back to Romero quickly, Brian, just before we move on to Frank, do you think there is any scenario he stays for you?
After a statement like that, I can't see how he can.
Sorry, I guess the better question for you is there any coming back? I guess from that statement, I guess would be all asking.
Unless he has a first sit-down meeting with Thomas Frank and he airs his frustrations and explains why.
Even if he does that, will Levy be like butthurt by it, basically saying, "Look, I want this guy gone."
Levy, yeah, but if Thomas Frank says he wants to keep him, and things are changing, and he can convince him, surely you listen to the man, or you think you'd listen to the head coach. You think that is what would happen?
Yeah.
If there's a change in mind there, I think they can move past it for sure, and they can just play it off saying he meant something else or whatever. But I just can't see him ever changing his mind. That's the thing, and I can see Levy actually holding him to ransom a little bit to other clubs, and I think that's where the problem's going to lie.
Graham Bailey is saying he's hearing that one of the players that could benefit from Thomas Frank arriving at Tottenham is Richarlison.
I think they're all going to have different views on who could.
Graham Bailey has been informed that Richarlison could be handed a fresh lease of life under Frank. In fact, there is a suggestion that Dane may even favour Richarlison over Solanke as the main striker.
Well, I mean, I told you today, he said some really good words about Richarlison in the past.
He said, really interesting. Richarlison, actually, as I was speaking to someone who knows Frank very well, just in general about everything, and they were saying to me, don't be surprised if Richarlison becomes the front man for Frank. He loves that sort of mobile closing down. And let's not forget when Frank comes in, and I'm not going to denigrating Solanke or anything, but he might end up being the Spurs starting number 9. Richarlison wants to be starting and not just start, but he wants to be the number 9. I think that's fascinating. I didn't take that into account. I thought Richarlison would be going. We know everything like him and a possible loan deal. We know he's already rejected Saudi. He doesn't want to go to Saudi at this point in his career, but I think it's one to keep an eye on. Interesting.
That is very interesting.
Loads of things.
It's about mobile pressing. I mean, doesn't Solanke give mobile pressing?
Yeah, I thought.
I will just say one thing on Romero very quickly. Just as we were ending there, this isn't the first time he's dropped statements like this. This one's a lot more, where he's actually aimed at. But he did one. I think
he's done it kind of in interviews, but he's never done a public statement. I think.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, so we'll have to see. But that Richarlison, you surprises me.
Come on, Brian. Enough of this now. Give us your reaction when I want to know. I wanted to see your face when you first woke up. You looked at your phone, and your phone must have been blowing up.
Ben, you know what? I wasn't at my phone. I hadn't even looked at my phone. What had happened is I woke up, and then I had YouTube on. I thought, right, let me just close that down. What's going on? Refreshed, and it said you were live, and I was like, wait a minute, that's a similar title. Let me just see if you are live. And it was you two at home, and I was like, oh my good God. Then I was like, oh, for God's sake, what have I done? Then I messaged you to say up and say I was asleep. Then I checked Spurs. I should put it this way. I checked you before Tottenham.
Lovely.
I checked you before Tottenham. And then I was so waking up on Spurs' Twitter announcing, I just put welcome to Tottenham, which is probably the smallest tweet I've ever put out to Tottenham. And then I had my own tweet. I've been waiting days to put this out. Let me show you. 1 second. 1 second.
Here we Frank. Love it.
It's finally Frank Day.
Love it. Finally.
I've been waiting to put that one out for about 3 days.
It's Tottenham. As soon as you give up all hope that something's going to come out from this club, it comes.
We should never have left that stream earlier.
Yeah.
We should never have left that stream. We was trying. When you were trying to say when Simia went to the bathroom, you were like, I can't remember which one was the biggest one that we've missed leaving the studio. I think you remember now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now I say sign in this week.
You reckon?
Yeah.
What kind of stature of a signing do you reckon it'll be?
Well, until someone gave the eyes, you never knew. You never know.
Buemo? In Buemo?
Could it be? If it isn't Buemo, my good God. My good God. Has any Thomas Frank videos come out from Spurs yet? Right,
I think that'll be tomorrow, I think.
Yeah.
We're all so desperately waiting for some fan content for Tottenham.
Yeah, it was, Ben. He heard that the club heard that you were going to Manchester tomorrow. So I thought, you know what, you may not be in the studio still, but let's drop it now. It's just, honestly, like we were saying, it's just hopefully now all this bickering and moaning between the fan base regarding is he good enough and should he come, should he not? Now people can get behind him.
Absolutely.
Now people can get behind him, his coaching staff, and let's see what Thomas Frank can deliver. And hopefully this will be the man. And I think when people see the videos of him tomorrow, they'll change their opinion on Thomas Frank. And then throughout the season, he'll grab people on board. And let's just say, like we said, let's just hope it's Stamford Bridge away, first game of the season. And in his first 2 games, he wins the Europa Super Cup and beats Chelsea and becomes the only second manager in Premier League history to beat them.
That would be quite something, Brian. Quite something.
It would, like I said to you, I can't remember, Simeon, if you've been in if you just been, Thomas Frank has gone to Stamford Bridge 4 times and won 3 times.
Yeah, he's got a great record at the Bridge.
He's done better for Brentford in 3 appearances. He's got a 75% hit rate compared to our managers. I don't even know what the percentage is.
We had 128. We were probably 20. No, one win, whatever, more than that.
1 win in over 30 years.
So Frank's probably done better at the Bridge than Spurs have done in the last 50 years. Never mind 30 years.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, we beat them. We beat them in 2018, and that was our first win in 28, and we haven't won since. That's 7 years ago. So what's this 35?
We've won 2 league games there. He's been there 4 times and won 3 times.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's a mental stat, isn't it?
That is insane.
He again, hopefully, when he comes to Tottenham now, he's going to get the rivalry there. I mean, you look at it, with Brentford, their main rivals were in Chelsea and Fulham, and we've all seen those games, and I can't remember really seeing any intensity within the fan base or the hostility, sorry. Now he's going to deal with the big games. Now he's got to deal with them.
Oh, we got to take a win in the North London derby this season.
Oh, mate.
It's been too long, man. Too many defeats.
What would you, I mean, you look at that. I think it's only Harry Redknapp that's got that.
Yeah. At the Emirates, yeah.
Yeah. And in the Premier League, the Premier League did one.
Did we win? Did we win at Highbury? Did we win at Highbury?
We won at Highbury when they were having the North Bank done, when the mural was up, and John Hendry, of all people, scored a couple of goals. So yeah, we've got if he could go away at the Emirates and get a win as well, obviously at home we'd love it as well. If he can go to places like Stamford Bridge, Anfield, could you imagine if he knocks Chelsea, all our records against Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea away?
Well, let's just start with one, Brian. So we're going to Anfield, we're going to Stamford Bridge, we're going to
We're winning all league games and things, mate. We're winning also league games.
I'm waking up, mate. Thomas Frank, here we go. I'm waking up now. Let's do this. But we're going invincible. We're going to go invincible with more points than them. I'm going from one extreme to the other. Not like me, Sim.
Exactly. We're doing it. We're doing it all this year.
Mate, we're
winning the quad. Unbeaten all season.
Mate, not the quad, right? For the quintuplet. Quintuple. That might be the word, yeah. That might be the word. But yeah, listen, now we can get to work. Thomas Frank can get to work. Good to hear the coaches have come. Obviously, Justin seems like a very, very big one. Keep forgetting his Concrade? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
But yeah, he tweeted about, obviously, a while ago, that you shared, Sim, that he obviously knows the youth at Tottenham very, very well, both at Spurs level and international level. Sim, Ben, when you said the coaches, did you say the goalkeeper coach as well?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think Rob Birch is staying.
Yeah, Rob Birch and Matty Wells are still on the staff, so.
Okay, so they're the other two. And then, yeah, we wait to see what wonderful pearls of wisdom he drops tomorrow.
It's nice to actually have, like, some good experienced coaches on the training ground now, because like Mile Jedinak was like fairly inexperienced, wasn't he? And he was like Ryan Mason, obviously he's had a bit of experience, but still a fairly new coach. So it's nice to have some good experience on there.
I think I'm trying to think, Sim will know better. I think the last person that was able to bring his full coach or the big coaching part of it would have been Poch.
This guy,
goes with Perez and everyone, doesn't he? Everywhere he goes, he's with them.
Yeah. There's this Man City kind of, I think, freelance journalist. He said he was an ex-reporter for Man City and it's the Manchester City News. He was an ex-reporter for them. He's claiming he's got an exclusive that Spurs are looking to submit a loan offer to Man City for Jack Grealish. The proposal came after Grealish was left out of City's Club World Cup. Talks are ongoing and advancing well between both parties, player and club. Everton and Napoli are also both in the race, but Spurs want to wrap things up soon. Grealish may potentially be the first signing to the new boss, Thomas Frank.
What is going on? What is going on here?
So we're getting Mbeumo, we're getting Jack Grealish, we're going to get Eze.
Our midfield is going to be sick. I am not going to believe it. We've been down this road before with Grealish. We have been extremely close with Grealish before. I'm not taking any Grealish news seriously.
Do you want him, though?
See, here's the thing. I mean, it's such a... Jack Grealish is a fantastic player.
Yeah.
Fantastic player. And that player that we've been missing is in that if he gets back to his Villa days, for me, like we were talking, if someone gave me the option or said you have one of these three, Eze, Morgan Gibbs White or Grealish is the last one I pick. But again,
I guess we've got two recent examples of playing in a similar position to Grealish and how it's gone. We had Sterling, who went to Arsenal. It was an absolute disaster. But then he had Rashford, who kind of reinvigorated himself at Villa, and he was like pretty good. So it's hard to know which category Grealish falls under.
He's more a Rashford than he is a Sterling.
Yeah, and also this year he will have the motivation of a World Cup to get fit for. Yeah, or play well for, shall I say. And every year, it doesn't matter, I think all England players or international players who clubs or whose countries are going to the World Cup, they're all going to try and they're going to step it up this season, aren't they? To force their way into that team. And Jack Grealish, if he gets on form, is back in the England team without a doubt.
I'm not convinced about Jack Grealish, to be honest. However, the way he plays, he is a proper Tottenham player, though, isn't he? Jack Grealish. Proper Tottenham player.
Yeah, I mean, if he becomes available, maybe it's at the expense of if let's just say Mbeumo, this does heat up and he's coming. There's no way Mbeumo and Eze are coming, in my opinion.
How would you feel if Sonny left this summer and the replacement is Jack Grealish?
Oof. Oh my God, I'm going to think about that while Simeon gives his answer.
How would I feel with what? Sorry?
Sonny was to leave this summer and the replacement is Jack Grealish.
Well, and let's say we get Tell as well or something.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be right now saying that's great, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, in theory, you could work because there's two different kind of profiles of winger, isn't it? And you got Tell, who's kind of more similar to Son in terms of more forward pace. Then you got Grealish, who's more of a creator, gives you different options, and he's got experience. But so on that side, I can understand it. On the other side, it's like it's more of you've got an out of form guy on big wages who has he lost his hunger? We're not really sure yet. And you've got another guy who's not really proven. And 6 months at Tottenham, he hasn't really convinced any fan that he's going to be the answer for next season. So you can kind of look at it negatively or positively, but I think on the face of it right now, I don't think I would be climbing up the walls happy with it. But
what about if our winger options next season are Grealish and Tell on the left, Mbeumo and Johnson on the right? So you splash the money on Mbeumo and you get Grealish in on a loan with subsidised wages.
Yeah, maybe I'll be willing to go with that.
I will say as well, I think if it's a loan deal or whatever it may be, I would have much rather a Jack Grealish than a Leroy Sané. And Jack Grealish comes with Champions League winners' medals, league winners' medals, FA Cup winners' medals, which those kind of experiences and reputation can only help the side in those tough moments, the tough games. But yeah, if you gave me right now Tell and Grealish, Johnson and Mbeumo, that's not a bad four on the wings. Obviously,
I really want Eze, man. I just really want Eze.
Well, now we see. But if he's, I think if he's got Mbeumo changing his mind, can you honestly see Tottenham, as much as we want it, getting both Mbeumo and Eze?
Maybe we're serious this summer, Brian.
Yeah, this is the window where things change. This is where all changes.
A lot of change, Brian.
Mate, listen, it's the summer of something. It's the summer of change, and me and Ben with beaming smiles and positivity and happiness and whatever. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? The window opens in 6 days. Who knows? Spurs will do what Jose did. Have everyone here before pre-season, ready and roaring to go. Who knows? You just never know with this club. You just never know.
Well, I think we're in for an exciting window, whatever happens, because there will be movement. They're going to have to be, sales when you're looking at the state of our European squad with the club train numbers. And I think it's going to be a summer, whether we bring a lot in, it's going to be jam-packed of rumours, that's for sure.
Oh, well, now we just need to see a Paratici, don't we?
Yeah, we don't know what's going on with him, Paratici.
The transfer rumours are heating up. But like we've said before, I think the transfer rumours, if you do look at them, they're actually, we said this before on one of the evening shows, didn't we? The rumours seem to be very targeted positions.
Yeah.
They're not,
Frank knows Lang well. He's probably working very closely with Lang.
Yeah, it seems to be very, very targeted, precise positions on the pitch. And like we said, one of the things I am loving is it does seem that if player A is not available, the drop down to player B is minuscule, not wallop down here. So let's just hope there are some truth to rumours and speculation. Like you said, Simmer, the summer of... Do you know what? That's a T-shirt for you. The summer of change. The summer of change. It just not me. Vinay, Frank, all the people incoming.
Yeah, I've got a T-shirt that's just going to say "Chew fucking chew."
There you go. And if record's correct now, you've got 3.5 hours on the way to Manchester to just come up with Frank songs. Ashley's going to love him.
He's going to want to smack me in the face. That's what she's going to.
Yeah, I know what's going to happen. You're going to be listening to music to keep Josh occupied, and all that's going to happen is you're going to hear Frank songs in these kids' rhymes.
Josh won't be with us, so
okay.
But it's going to be fun, nonetheless. Not sure for who.
Yeah, it will be. But at least now the waiting's over.
Yep, he's here. He's beautiful. We got a new manager. And look, we just got to see how the summer progresses now. I think we're all very happy. Smiles on all our faces. And apart from Sim.
I'm just reading more things. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. We're smiling.
You are. There you go. There's that smile. There's that smile. If ever you needed box office smile, it's right now. Just have a look. That's what you need to do. It's well, I'm going to have a face ache for a while now, and
I think all the fans are going to get behind him very quickly. I think all the fans are going to.
I think the majority are already.
Yeah, which is great.
So yeah, I guess we'll leave it there. I don't know if there's anything else you want to touch on, Sim.
Not at the moment. I'm just reading some more small stuff, but no, I'm all right for now.
Gary Jacobs says that Tottenham have been looking at centre-backs, defensive midfield and winger signings.
Centre-back, defensive midfield and winger signing. Do you reckon that implies maybe Richie is staying?
Yeah, I mean, it could very well, because if Richie was going, then we'd be definitely looking at strikers, that's for sure.
But then if Richie's staying, he was one of the ones being marked to leave, so then who's going to leave?
Well, I think when they say centre-backs, after a two-footed challenge that's been had before.
Yeah, but we also earmarked Romero.
Yeah, that's true.
So the guys I've got in bold are Son, Bissouma, Richarlison, Romero and Davies. So if Son, Bissouma and Romero and Davis leave, that means we can bring in 2. Yeah.
Now, this is the bit you two are great at. Team team status Tetris is what you two are great at, as well as many other things. But we're going to have to wait and see. But like we said, it's not that. Who was it that said it about Richarlison?
Graham Bailey. It wasn't our most reliable source, but he's kind of saying he's heard it. So
yeah, there's going to be a lot of speculation about players' histories, futures, aren't there now? From within the support base, supporters, or the wide media, and we'll have to see which one is true.
Absolutely. So a lot of unknowns still. Futures need to be cleared up for Romero, for Sonny, for other players as well. And we just need to get those signings in. We need to up the quality and up the experience levels of this squad. But look, I think we'll leave it there for today, guys. Sim and Brian back on screen tomorrow for all the Frank announcement videos, which are sure to come. I reckon they might come fairly early tomorrow, to be honest.
Yeah.
So we'll see what time you guys can get live. But big up to everyone out there. Big up to you, Brian. Sorry to wake you up with such dreadful news.
The way you woke me up was a beautiful way to get the information. I've now just seen that my phone has exploded, so I'm going to have to come out and go through that. And yeah, what a fantastic day. June the 12th is Frank Day.
Yeah.
Long live Frank.
Absolutely. Big up to everyone out there. See you all tomorrow. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,
come on,